Hey, you guys, it's your girl Sherry back for another episode on Grieve, Grow, and Glow. So before we get started, as always, please like the video. Liking the video will help the algorithm know that more people want to see this message, right? And today's message, I really would like to reach out to anyone that is in the beginning stage of grief. So that's what the message is geared towards today. The grief part of Grieve, Grow, and Glow, right? So let me just turn this over. We want to make sure that we get this all in there. Okay. So yes, I want to just touch someone's heart today, right? I just joined a grief support group online, not because I need it, but because I want to be a support to someone that is actually going through it, right? As I have stated on many videos, I have been through grief. I lost my fiance 18 years ago, so I'm actually in the glow part of Grieve, Grow, and Glow. And one day you will be too. It's a journey. Baby steps, right? You take all the time you need to get to that point. And it's not an easy journey. Okay? And so I can't say I'm just talking to my sisters. I'm talking to the fellas too, because they lose as well, right? It's not just geared to one gender. So I want to be able to just speak to anyone that has lost a loved one recently, within the last couple of years, or even if they're on the journey to glowing, right? If they're on that 18-year stretch. This is really a message for you guys. Or anyone that has grief, I should say, but just the people that are really in the early stages, that are at a point where they don't know, they don't understand, right? So going into that group and reading the messages breaks my heart, because I know what they're feeling. I've been there. It's not easy, especially when it's unexpected. All grief hurts, but when it's so unexpected and you never seen it coming, oh my God, it just feels like a knife just pierced your heart. It really, really does. So I really sympathize with anyone that's going through that at this moment, right? So I thought, what did I want to talk about today? Because I've been kind of going through a lot of the different parts of grieving, growing, and glowing, right? Last week, we talked about forgiveness, unforgiveness, right? That's part of grief. And if you haven't had an opportunity to see the video, go down and check out that video on the channel. It's a really good topic that we all have dealt with or are dealing with. And so today I really wanted to just jump back into grief, because like I said, I joined this group and I just wanted to just love on you guys today, right? When you go through this journey, I know there is so many questions, right? The unknown. The first question that comes to mind is why? Why? Why did this happen to me, right? You go through anger. You go through, so let's take it back. There's 5 stages of grief that we all go through. Some people go through multiple stages more than once. not everyone go through all stages, right? So the stages are denial, anger, you got bargaining, depression, and acceptance. So I'm going to break it down a little bit, right? And just give you a little tidbit on what each element means, just in case someone doesn't know. So when you're in the denial stage, it's more like, this can't be happening to me. This is not real, right? You feel numb. You feel you're in shock. And sometimes you're disconnected from your emotions, right? You feel like you're just out of body. Like I felt that way when it first happened, when I first lost my fiance. I just was existing. I'm being completely transparent. I was getting up, going through my normal routine, right? Getting up, making sure the kids were good, they were ready for school, getting myself ready, going to work, coming home, cooking dinner, and back to bed. Like just staying on a routine to not think about what I was experiencing. Because for me, not thinking about it made it not feel real, right? It just didn't feel real. But there's days when I felt God was like, you're going to feel this. In order to heal, you have to feel it. You have to go through the process. So there's anger. I was so angry with God. I was so angry with him, right? To the point where I stopped believing in him. I stopped going to church. I was done. Because in my mind, it was like, how could God do this to me? How could he take the love of my life from me, right? Because it had been a while for me to actually find someone that I really truly believed was for me. I was the happiest I had ever been. And God took him away. So yeah, I was big mad. And I know that you will feel that as well. Now, everybody's experience different. Like, I'm not saying that you're going to step away from God. I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do. Looking back, that wasn't the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to lean closer to God. Had I done that, my journey of sitting in the grief for 14 years would have been short-lived, because I would have leaned on him. I would have been able to talk to him, and he would have been able to guide me and pull me through. But yet I pushed away from him. And I wish I hadn't done that, now that I'm looking back. But again, there's always a lesson in everything that we go through, right? God knew that that was what I was going to do. And he allowed me to do that, because now I have a testimony. Now I can help someone else that's going through their journey, right? And God, the 14 years that I sat in it, it was horrible. It was horrible because of not having someone to talk to that actually understood, right? I had friends and family that wanted to love on me, wanted to be there, But it's so hard to lean on people when they don't actually know what you're going through. Right? So not only did I go through denial, not only did I go through anger. So then you get to the bargaining. Now, I'm not sure if I actually dealt with bargaining, if that was part of what I went through. I know I went through denial. I mean, anger was, for a long time, anger was a part of my journey, right? Bargaining, it says, if only I had, or obsessing over what could have been done differently. I don't think there's anything that I could have done differently, because losing Matthew was just something that was in God's plan. Maybe bargaining means that if I would have, I don't know. It's tough for me to understand what I could have done differently with his unexpected death, because I was left with unanswered questions. To this day, I don't know why I lost him. To this day, I don't know what the root cause of his death was. His daughter, who was the beneficiary, next of kin, because we had not gotten married yet, denied the autopsy that I had in place because I wanted to know what happened. And she denied it. So I think that's why my journey was so long, the unknown, not knowing what actually happened. So I guess in the bargaining part, I guess that is my part of bargaining. I wish she would have had the autopsy done, so at least I would have been at peace to know what actually took him out, if that makes sense. Depression, that's the 4th stage of grief. And I've revisited depression for a very long time, right? Depression is deep sadness, loneliness, hopelessness. Feel like you're stuck. All of that I went through. A lot of alone days, especially in the beginning. I didn't want to be around anybody. I just wanted to be in my bed crying. And when I tell you, I cried. I cried. And it's okay. It's okay to show emotion. It's okay to not keep the emotions buried deep inside of you, right? Sometimes I feel like I cried so much, I'm surprised I still have tears in my body. Because there was a lot of loneliness. There was a lot of tears. There was a lot of, I don't want to live without him. If I could be completely honest. What am I going to do? He was my rock. He was my best friend. He was the person that understood me, right? That I could talk to him about anything. And being that the relationships I had in the past, I didn't have that. I felt seen with him. I was respected by him. And so to lose that was, it was hard. And I know anyone that is going through the loss of their husband, their wife, and that just had that joy with their partner, love on their partner, their best friend, can understand what I'm talking about, right? So when I talk about glow, the glow part of grieve, grow, glow, I'm talking about acceptance. And that's the fifth form of grief. Fifth stage of grief, I should say. That's where I'm at. I'm in total acceptance. It took me a while to get here. And everybody's journey is different. It may take you 2 years. It may take you 6 months. You may never get there. You may just keep going on through the grief for the rest of your life. I don't know when the acceptance will come for you, right? But I know for me, in year 14 is where I finally came to acceptance. And it wasn't about being on my own. So one thing that I do tell people, and I'm saying to you guys, is get a support person. If it's not a family or a friend that you can really pour your heart in, that you trust with your emotions, that you could be vulnerable with, get into a support group, get into therapy, whether it's individual or if it's group. I've done both. And to be completely honest, I found the group therapy to be the most beneficial for me because I was around people that truly can relate. And you get different perspectives from everybody, whether it's a loss of a parent, a loss of a spouse, a loss of a fiance, a loss of a friend. You can get all different perspectives and how they've coped. Now, I'm not saying that it will work for you, but you have options to at least try. And you have people that you can pour out your heart to and feel safe. And it gets so easy. And they listen. They want to hear your story because I always felt after year 5, year 6 of talking with people, I always felt, and it could just be my perception, but I always felt that they were like, oh, when is she going to get over this? Oh, tired of hearing this. That's just how I felt. So I chose not to speak on it. I dealt with it alone. So going into a group where I can actually talk about it, because every week you may have new people that join the group, right? And so you're telling your story in this 2 to 3 hour session. I went to Grieve Share. It's a Christian-based group, and I love that. And I told my story. And so how I came to my breakthrough is because telling my story over and over and over, one of the ladies that was leading it was like, Sherry, I know why you are still stuck, right? Stuck is part of depression. And I'm like, okay, why? Why do you think I'm stuck? Like, I'm really baffled for her to tell me. And she said to me, you are stuck because you are angry that Matthew left you. And I tell you, when I broke down, I think 14 years came out of me that day. And that's where my healing began. So I say to you, my advice is to get it out. Don't sit in it. I know some people may have just recently lost their loved one, and I can understand you sitting in it in the beginning. Just don't sit too long. Find a way to get out. Get it out, whether it's someone close, a family person that you trust, that you can speak to, whether it's going to individual counseling in the beginning. That's fine. I did that for 2 years. Loved my therapist, but it just wasn't enough for me because I thought I was good after the 2 years, but I really wasn't. We really didn't have that breakthrough that I thought we had, right? So get an individual therapist or go into a group therapy. Grief Share is all over the United States. I'm sure you can find it in your community, right? Journaling your feelings. That's something I wish I would have done. Putting your feelings down on paper, because I've recently found out, because people would tell me to journal years ago, and I just was like, I'm not doing that. Just wasn't into writing, right? But it is so therapeutic, and I have been doing it consistently for about the last 9 months. And it's not about anything bad that I'm journaling. I just start journaling how I'm feeling. I journal my journey on growing my brand, right? Sherry Levon. I journal things that I want to speak about in my episodes. And if I'm having a rough day at work, or if I'm having, start missing old friends that are no longer, we're no longer friends. And I'm okay with where I'm at, but there's days that you do go back to that grief, or because they were friendships that you cared about. So it's you're still grieving and you're still healing. So I jot it down and I get it out of me so it's not heavy. I don't like the heaviness. So journal, get your emotions out, right? Again, on the acceptance part, right? It doesn't mean that what you went through is okay. It just means that you're beginning to live with the grief. You're beginning to understand. You're in acceptance. Okay, this has happened to me. How do I move forward? And I am finally in a place that I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to date. So I'm in my dating phase. It's a journey, but I'm open. I'm ready. I'm ready to see what's out there. I love love. I love being in love, and I'm just ready for God to send me my person. But you have to be open. And so that's where I'm at, right? So here are some tips that I want to leave with you guys, right? I did some research and I just wanted to make sure that I jotted everything down. So I'm looking at my notes and I just want to offer some comfort. I see you guys. I'm here. Any questions you have, please drop in the comments. Anyone that would love to come on the channel to discuss their journey, I'm open to that as well. And so here are some tips. Give yourself permission to feel everything. Even the ugly emotions. Just feel everything. Okay? Don't isolate. And that's something that I did, so I can speak on that. I isolated myself for a very long time. Just did not want to be around people. I didn't. But in my case, I had to pull myself out of that, especially if you have children. I had children. And so I couldn't just isolate. I had to still be mom. I still had to get up every day and make sure they were good. But your kids see that. They sense that. And my boys were like, Ma, you're not good at all. And so I had to shake myself out of it during the day, be around them, be happy, be present. But behind closed doors, I just cried myself to sleep. So isolation is never a good thing, right? Make sure you eat. Make sure you hydrate. It's important to keep your strength, right? Sleep when you can, cry when you need to. Getting the proper rest is an important part of your healing journey. Make sure you sleep, because some people do struggle with sleep, insomnia, right? And that's case by case basis. Everybody doesn't struggle with sleep. Me and sleep got a whole relationship, okay? I love me some sleep. And when I was going through my grief journey, I could sleep for days. You hear me? Get up, go to the ladies' room, throw something down my throat, and back in bed and sleep 2 days straight if you let me. My boys were big enough, old enough, where on the weekends they went with dad. So sometimes they would leave on Friday. By the time they come back Sunday night, I still been in that bed. But I didn't let them know that, right? Because I knew what time they would come home, so I would get myself up a little presentable, but was in bed for the whole weekend. So I know the things that you're going through, and maybe going through what I was going through. But I want to offer that advice that it's not good. It's not good, right? And to just find ways to pull yourself through. Day by day, just take baby steps. Don't rush the process. Feel what you want to feel, right? And just let it all out. Just feel it. Cry if you gotta cry. Do what you gotta do. And don't let anyone tell you, get over it, or you've been grieving too long. No one should ever say that to you. Okay? So just remember that. Some encouraging affirmations that I want you guys to speak to yourself, right? These are some really good affirmations that will, if you get up feeling or not wanting to go throughout the day because you're really sitting in your grief, right? Say these 4 affirmations. I'm grieving, and that is allowed. I'm not alone, even when I feel lonely. I'm doing the best that I can, and that's enough for today. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means honoring while still living. These are some powerful affirmations that I wish I had during my journey. So put them on a little sticky, put them by your bed, put them in the bathroom, put them everywhere that you need some positive affirmations throughout the day, right? So I want to leave you guys with this. And this is powerful. Look at grief as a price we pay when we love someone, right? It shows how deeply you love that person. That is powerful. The pain that you're going through is proof of how much you love that person. And trust me, I love Matthew with my whole heart. But the pain you're feeling today, it won't last forever. Now, I'm in a place where Matthew definitely sits in my heart, but I have enough love for my next partner, right? I'll never forget the love that I had for him. He will always be a part of my heart, but my heart's big enough to give love to someone else. So always remember that. You will always cry yourself to sleep. You will always wake up in shock. Sometimes you'll walk around mad at the world, and it's okay. You are grieving. Give yourself grace. So, I know this was a heavy topic today, and I had to pray over it, and I'm like, okay, God, I'm in this new support group. I see the comments. It gets heavy, even for me. Even though I'm in the glow season, it still gets heavy for me, because it brings me back to what I went through. And my heart feels for you guys. So I wanted to come on and really offer some encouragement, some comfort, just love on you guys today, because I know that you are going through a lot, and one day you will glow again. This isn't forever. All right. So I just going to leave with that. We're going to end with that. Again, like the video so that this video could be pushed out to anyone that is going through grief, that really needs to hear this message. Anyone that you know that's dealing with grief, share the video with them. If you want someone to talk to, you can reach out to me, leave a comment. If there's something you want me to dive a little bit deeper to give you clarity, more than welcome to do that, right? This is our community. We are family. This is a safe space in this community, right? Safe space to be vulnerable, to be transparent. Anything that you want to say, you're safe. And we all lead with love. So I want you guys to have a beautiful rest of your evening. Go out and do something nice for yourself. Even if it's just getting into a good book, lighting a candle to remember your loved one, right? And just reflect on the good days that you had with that person. It will at least bring a smile on your face for the moment. So this is your girl, Sherry. This is Grieve, Grow, and Glow. Have an amazing evening on purpose. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Until the next time. Deuces.